Brock Purdy, one drive, no touchdown, field goal, 4 or 5. Was it a throwaway and a scramble? What'd you see? What'd you like? Where do you put him? Is he ready?
He just looks like Brock from last year, didn't he? I mean, he was 4 or 5. He was efficient. He's not going to throw the ball down the field, but he plays with timing and tempo, and he drives the team, and they score points. I mean, think about it. I mean, that's what the position's about. We can evaluate what level he threw to, how he looked, but I thought he looked good. I thought he looked like the guy that we saw last week. The guy that we saw last week in practice was throwing dimes. He was playing with timing. He's playing with rhythm. He's playing with tempo. The one thing I don't see with Lance or Darnold with any consistency in practice or the games is drives that feel that you feel the rhythm. Purdy gets this team in rhythm. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. He can make an assortment of throws. He doesn't have the biggest arm. We can talk about his failings all day and all night. But it results in points. I would have loved to see them go for it on 4th down, but I thought he looked pretty good. And I like the fact that he got him in, got him out. There you go. I thought he looked very much like Brock from last year.
Yeah, no doubt. He absolutely did. He's as quick as ever. He looked confident. Moved the team right down the field. He looked really good.
But their weapons are good. Their weapons are spectacular.
And he didn't even have all the weapons out there. No Kittle, no McCaffrey. He had Debo, and Debo made him look good. Okay, Debo made Jimmy look good. Only thing is, I'm still not certain that Brock's going to be winning the Super Bowl this year. And I'm not saying Trey would or Darnold would, but that's the rub with this team. You could say you love Brock Purdy. You could say you love Trey Lance. Whoever quarterback is your favorite quarterback on this team, do you like him for this year or do you like him for the future? Because this is a team where Hargrave's 30, Armstead's 30, Kittle's 30, Trent Williams is 35. This is a big, big, big year for the 49ers, and Trey Lance hasn't been able to freaking play because they're in a win-now mode. All right, well, the quarterback on the field, who's the real deal, needs to be held to a very high standard. And I don't even know that's fair for Brock. The dude has 7 starts, and he's 23-2. So it feels like the Niners are still kind of on 2 timelines. Brock could be a promising young franchise quarterback and still not be ready to win the Super Bowl this year. Same for Trey. You feel they're both future franchise quarterbacks? They might be.
I do.
And neither one might be ready to win the Super Bowl this year, which would be too bad, considering this is a particular Super Bowl window that the Niners have.
Brock throws with anticipation. So, it's like he knows who's going to be open and when and where, and the ball comes out on time. And then his footwork in the short game is the best I've seen in the short game. I mean, his footwork in the short game is on point, way, way better than Garoppolo. And then the major tenets of Kyle's offense are the bootleg game and the play action game and the play action bootleg game together. And Brock operates that really, really well. So, he gets the ball into his receiver's hands in stride, underneath, consistently, and so they stay ahead of the chains. He plays with rhythm. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that he gives them the best chance to win in Heinz Field. No doubt.
Okay, fine. He's deserved the opportunity to start week 1. He's there every day for training camp. He is a better fit in this offense than Jimmy was because of his ability to throw on the run and roll left and roll right and extend plays. But just like Jimmy, my question with Brock is, how many games are you going to play this year, Brock? Because you got hurt in your first start, you got hurt in your last start, you lasted 8 games. That's great, man. You exceeded expectations as the third stringer off the bench, but now you're the starting quarterback, and the expectation isn't 8 games. It ain't 14 games. It's like 20. And I don't know that you're built for that. I don't know that you're not. And it may not be that you're not built for it. It may be that the Niners aren't built to keep you upright for 20 games. But that's the question. Because if you only make it 8 again, then, it's not, this season isn't going to be about you at all. It's going to be about Sam Darnold or Trey Lance or both. So I think that's still a question the Niners have to answer. Brock has to answer. Durability. They moved on from Jimmy Garoppolo. The number one reason was he wasn't durable enough. All right, Brock, you got to prove it.
I agree. I mean, durability is speculation. We don't know how he's going to all we have is his college career. He stayed healthy in college, played a ton of games. But the NFL, we're on the sidelines for these practices. The athletes in the league are fast, they're physical, and we'll see. I mean, it's just as simple as that. I mean, the one thing about it is he does have an ability to protect himself because he can get the ball out.
Move. No doubt. When he took that sack last night, though, I winced. Anytime he gets hit, I wince because he looks like your little brother on the field. And you're like, leave him alone.
Well, I mean,
stop.
Yeah, I mean, that the one we can't predict the future, but I mean, and one thing about him, he doesn't hold. When you hold the ball a long time, you're going to take some big time hits, and he doesn't hold the ball a long time. He gets it out. So, and to me, I've got to see what his arm looks like down the field in regular season games because I still have some questions about it. I mean, it looks good in practice. It looks pretty good in I've seen in the brief snippets we've seen, but I got to see it. I got to see it in the regular season before I really know that. Yeah, he is indeed 100% back. Until I see it from my own two eyes, I'm not really going to 100% believe it.
Also, we know Brock can run the offense. The boots, the play actions, the screens, the slants, the digs, the meat and potatoes of the offense, 85% of the offense, he executes really, really well. But to win the Super Bowl, there's going to be a lot of plays where it's just straight drop back throw. You're behind the sticks. Maybe you're losing. It's not always going to be that easy. And the Niners do a great job of making it easy for him. And to his credit, he executes the hell out of that stuff in ways that maybe Sam and Trey wouldn't as consistently. But deep in the playoffs, when you're getting pressured on 50% of your dropbacks, and your first read isn't always open, and you can't dictate with your run and play action, can you rise up? And that's a fair question. It's a thing that only 7, 8, 9 quarterbacks in the league can do. But that's the new bar that's always the bar for the 49ers quarterback. It always is. So we'll have to see. I don't know. I don't know that he knows. I don't know that they know. We'll find out.
They got two playoff wins right now with a rookie quarterback. Debo came out and said, hey, I think we would have beat Philly if Brock doesn't go down. So who knows? Maybe
that means they would have won.
Maybe Debo's just talking, or maybe he actually believes it. But we'll have to see. I mean, we're asking questions that we don't know the answer to.
No doubt.
The reality is Seattle owned the Niners, owned them, and then Brock's beat him what, 2 times last year or 3 times?
Yeah, he did.
2 times.
Jason Lutz, did Bell just make the 50? Yeah, hell yeah. Ronnie Bell. Salute to Ronnie Bell. He's dropped it a couple passes, but he's really good. Dropped it. I said dropped it. Connor says, Porcine? I don't get it. I'm not reading that. 7MP says, Larry, you really trust the season to Darnold? I love how Jimmy and Brock got so much leeway with limited starts, but Trey playing is so sacrilegious. He needs more reps. Solutions, sit him quarterback 3.
It's about who's ready to play right now. I mean, are we going to pretend that that Trey didn't look bad at the beginning of the Raider game? Or are we going to pretend that Sam? I mean, people make fun of Sam that he had 55 starts. That's why he's quarterback too, because he had 55 starts and he's got more experience. He looks more calm at the beginning of these appearances. Now Trey gets better as it goes, but this is one team gets the bye. The Niners don't want to play in Philly. It's the Niners and Philly in the NFC, I believe. Everybody else, I don't believe in that much. Maybe a little bit on the New York Giants. But, I mean, I really think the Niners have to hit the ground running. So you better play the quarterbacks up front that you think you can win with. And
I just feel like Darnold is who he is. I feel like Darnold is who he is. He's not changing. He's not good. I mean, you can say he's not bad, but he's that. He's a constant. Trey, he is improving. It took him to the 4th drive to get going in his first preseason game, which was his first live action since he broke his ankle. Then it took him till his 2nd drive to get going in his 2nd preseason game. I would make Trey the 2nd quarterback, but that's just me.